Good afternoon. Continuing to track the mix of a true mix of all precipitation types today, from rain to freezing rain to sleet to snow. We're seeing a little bit of everything. And I want to talk a little bit about why we're not into the dry slot yet. We had mentioned on the new news that there was a dry slot coming, and much of Herkimer County continues to see precipitation. And I wanted to explain what is going on in the atmosphere. So I'm going to put this on I'll put this on a 2-hour loop, which takes us back to noon. We will pause it at the beginning of the loop. Maybe. Just kidding. Now, at this time, it looked like drier air was going to nose its way in here, nose its way in here, nose its way in here. And that simply didn't happen. What ended up happening was that the true back end was more like this. So we still saw a bunch of precipitation as this moved through. We had some backfilling occur. Watch as I put this into motion. Not much yet. Boom. Blows up. We go on the Oneida-Madison County border. We go from little to no precipitation to moderate precipitation. Otsego County goes from extremely light precipitation back to moderate precipitation. And it continues to fall across the areas that have been seeing precipitation consistently, like northern Oneida County, eastern Oneida County, central Herkimer County, and northern Herkimer County. As we continue to put this into motion, you can see we got a nice robust line of precipitation working its way in, and it's going to be entering areas that are colder, which is what I was concerned about. As this continues to move, it's a little bit of a poorly drawn arrow, but as this continues to move in this direction, it's going to encounter colder air, and this precipitation will fall as freezing, as wintry precipitation. As we look back across central Oneida County, I'm zooming in close here. Herkimer County seeing a mix of everything, a true wintry mix. The Mohawk Valley seeing a true wintry mix. Northeast Otsego County continuing to see a true wintry mix. And this is going to continue. I'm going to shorten the loop now back to an hour. I'm actually going to do a half hour. And we can see that we still have precipitation back through the Syracuse area, back west of 481. We still have a little bit of light precipitation working through the Finger Lakes. And I'm going to zoom this out. Our dry slot didn't disappear. It's just shrunk. The dry slot now goes from about there to there. So while we're still going to get a break in the precipitation, it's just not going to be quite as extensive as originally looked. As it originally looked, we're now looking at more of a 2-hour break. I'm thinking from 3 to 5 p.m. we see light precipitation or no precipitation, and then after 5 p.m. these squalls from the west are going to move in hot and heavy. I have a feeling that if they maintain the intensity that they're currently at, that these would come in as snow squalls, possibly with snow squall warnings. But for now, our concern continues to be if you are on the north side of this line. If you are on the north side of this line, if you are in this zone, you are seeing wintry precipitation anywhere from a rain-sleet mix to freezing rain to sleet mixed with freezing rain to snow, sleet, and freezing rain, and all the way up into inlet. They're seeing a snow sleet mix. Sean in inlet reporting about an inch of wet snow on top of a coating of sleet. So we are all continuing to see wintry precipitation. Drop some comments in the live stream if you're experiencing these wintry precipitation. If you have a temperature at your location, I appreciate that as well. But we're continuing to keep a very close eye on this because temperatures are below freezing. They continue to drop. We have this east wind. As you can see, Otter Lake just went from 33 to 32 degrees as I turned this local temperatures on. We're in the low 30s in Hamilton County or upper 20s. The east wind continues to funnel cold air down the valley. We're down to 31 in Deansboro, only 33 in Westmoreland now. Northeast Otsego County continues to see that cold air damming. Cherry Valley, Hessville, Cooperstown, all at freezing or below freezing. The rest of the southern tier, mid to upper 30s, not seeing those wintry issues. The wintry issues really lie right along north and east of Utica. There's a very sharp line of who is seeing wintry precipitation and who is not. And it's very defined by who is seeing a strong east wind. We have a due east wind funneling cold air down the Mohawk Valley. We have cold east winds locking air in across the North Country, helping prevent this surge of warmer air, which has gotten into Madison and Shenango counties. This battleground of cold and warm air is a perfect scenario. What we get in these situations is that we get freezing rain, then we get some of that, some sleet, and if you're up here, snow. Put the loop back on. Shorten it to 1 hour. A lot of pink showing up now in Herkimer County. That's an indication that there's freezing rain falling. Temperatures are right around the freezing mark, so this is very, very possible. Likely what is occurring. Again, if you do not have to travel east or north of Utica, don't. If I didn't have to drive to work today, trust me, I wouldn't have. My drive in at 11 a.m. was treacherous to get to Deerfield. It's purple indicating a nice thick layer of sleet sliding up through Montgomery County, as well as southeastern Herkimer County. And again, there is a back end to this. There is the back end. Working through Tompkins County now to get a little bit of a break between the squalls. This is also, while this isn't going to be completely dry, while this moves in, the precipitation will be much lighter and impacts will be much less. So that is really going to be the beginning of the dry slot. Continue to take a look at still very windy 15-mile-per-hour winds across central New York, gusting as high as 23 at Rome, making it uncomfortable out there. Drop if you got any comments. Ooh. South of Utica, all ice, no power. That's interesting. Windy and Sequoia, no power. That makes me think that there's a power outage. Let's take a look. See if we have a major outage. South of Chadwick's looks to have an outage. Um, 1,281 customers affected in Oneida County. So our dry slot, again, has shrunk. We're going to see a much smaller dry slot than what was originally thought. Our break in the precipitation is going to be much shorter. We're going to be between about 3:30, 3 to 5 p.m., and then things are going to ramp right back up. We're going to see wintry precipitation slowly transition over to plain snow, and then we all end the night with frozen ground and snow. Tonight is a major, major, major black ice alert. Just want to make everyone aware, that everything tonight is going to freeze. We're expecting temperatures to get into the upper 20s, and if that happens, all of this slushy, sloppy ground is going to turn icy. We're going to continue to solidify and turn harder. Continue to see that the signs of the wintry precipitation sliding into the Mohawk Valley, areas where we expected that cold air damming to be the most prevalent. Eric did a really good job of drawing this earlier. I'm going to draw it again. We get this cold air that gets trapped in the valley. Warm air wants to push up over it. And when it does, that warm air overrides the cold and creates sleet, freezing rain, our wintry mix. Let's see here. Just checking your comments again, folks. Dan says it's raining in Lee. That's interesting because we have. I'm not totally surprised by that. You can see that little green dot across Route 46 there is some warm air continuing to ride aloft. Um, the cold air really is entrenched in the Mohawk Valley, despite the fact that the northern regions are reporting snow. There is rain mixing in across much of central and northern Oneida County. I'm getting reports of rain in Rome, rain just north of Rome. Katrina asks how it's going to be tomorrow morning. It's not going to be too bad. Just some nuisance snow showers, some very light snow showers. Temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s. We're seeing some bright banding showing up right here. We do still have this dry slot. It has just shrunk. It has shrunk. From Monroe to Cayuga counties, we are completely dry. And this dry slot is working its way in our direction. It's just taking its sweet time. We're having quite a bit of backfilling going on, which means as the precipitation moves out, there's more precipitation forming behind it. Folks, I'm going to work on a snowfall map. It's 2:30 p.m. Our chief will be here by 3:30. I'll be working in tandem with him until 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be keeping a close eye on all of this. I want to get a map made for him. I'm going to make a very he may not even use the snowfall map I make, but I want to give him the option of having one. And again, that is just going to be extremely light snowfall for almost all of the area. Just a trace to 2 inches for Utica, trace to 2 inches for Rome, the Mohawk Valley. It's the areas north to the North Country that could see some elevated snowfall totals, and I just wanted to pick that on a snowfall map for Mr. Cardis. So I will leave you guys with this again. If you're heading north or east of Utica, be careful, please. We're still seeing that mix of wintry precipitation, some sleet, some freezing rain, and some wet snow all mixing in. And yes, some plain rain as well. And the more plain rain, the better. We are not rooting on an ice storm here. We're hoping for minimal impacts. We've seen enough impacts already today. There's been numerous car accidents. There's been tens of car accidents on the thruway from Whitesboro to Schenectady. So we are hoping that things can warm up over the next hour. Don't expect it to go within the Mohawk Valley, though. Central Herkimer County, Fulton County, Montgomery County, as well as Central Herkimer County, and eventually Northern Oneida County will turn over as well. We'll get into this wintry precipitation. Send me any questions you have about the forecasts. Send me any reports that you may think I find useful. We really appreciate that. I can't thank you guys enough. And that's about all I have for now. Just wanted to explain why our dry slot has not arrived yet, and that was because of the backfilling that has occurred. We had more precipitation form in size. And it's continuing to shrink in size, but we are going to get a brief lull in between precipitation or in between the precipitations. This should come to an end between 3 and 3:30